Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be sharing with you all of the read alouds we will be doing in our homeschool next year and the readers that I've chosen for my kids to read. One of the top questions that I've gotten since I announced that we were switching and going with the Good and the Beautiful curriculum was, well, what are your kids going to be reading? So today I am going to share with you every single book that I plan to have my kids read, as well as me read to them. And just a quick little disclaimer, we just dyed Easter eggs and the dye is on my hands. So if you're wondering why my hands are blue, that's why. Real life, can't get it off. So anyways, we're gonna get started with this video and I'm going to explain what I chose, why I chose it, and then show you guys. So when I was using Sonlight, all of the books were shipped to me all at one time for my kids when they were using their language arts curriculum, and then also with our history, Bible, and literature. All of the books were sent to me at one time. Sonlight is a literature-based curriculum, so it involved a lot of reading out loud. The Good and the Beautiful is similar, but it is different, and the history curriculum, which I showed in my flip through, if you haven't watched those, I will link them for you guys, came with 4 read alouds, 1 for each unit of history. And so I will be reading those books, which I've already shown you, to my kids for the history read aloud. I will also be reading aloud to them the Bible when we are doing our Bible time, and then anything else that I feel like I want to incorporate. So the big question was, well, what books will I be having my kids read? I also showed in my flip through videos that the Good and the Beautiful Language Arts does come with a reader, but it is one reader bound together, and Jenny Phillips, the creator of the Good and the Beautiful, recommends that you do have your children read additional books, and they do have a book list on the website, which is always linked down below for you guys. It is free or very, very, very inexpensive to purchase, where they've got some like pre-selected readers that are good and moral and things that the Good and the Beautiful stand for you to choose from. So some of the books that I've got came off of that list, but not all of them. Getting back to the Sonlight thing, all of the books came to me at one time with Sonlight, and I really enjoyed not having to go to the library out of necessity, but rather as like a fun, choose whatever kind of books you want. So I knew I wanted to purchase the books for my older kids. Also because I've got 2 younger ones that are all going to read these, so it's a good investment for me to just go ahead and purchase all of these books and have them for my kids to read, in addition to their language arts reader with the Good and the Beautiful. So my kids will be doing their language arts with their reader that came with the curriculum, and they will be reading 1 book from here for their school reading. My kids read plenty more on their own, and that is not anything I regulate. The other thing I want to mention before I just start showing you guys the books I chose, my younger 2, I have the books that came, the readers that came with the Sonlight Language Arts that I purchased for my older kids when they were in those grades. So my younger 2 are going to be using some books we already have. These books that I've got right here are predominantly going to be for my oldest, who is in 6th grade, and my son, who is in 5th grade, as well as me reading to them depending on which one I choose and which one I want to do. I got all of these books off of Amazon. I spent around, all but 2 actually, off of Amazon. I spent around $140 on all of these books, and I will try my best to come up with a list for you guys down below, so that way you can order some of these books if you want to. I surveyed on my Instagram asking you guys what classics that are good and moral books have your kids loved, because there's millions of book lists out there. There's tons of homeschooling book lists, but I actually wanted feedback from people who have had their kids read these books. Which ones did you love? Which ones did they love? And these were the commonly recommended ones, so I just went ahead and got them. So I'm going to start showing you. We have the Green Ember, and I'm not going to say who's going to be reading what because I feel like they'll be intertwined, and these are just all books we're going to read this year. The Swiss Family Robinson. This one did come off of the Good and the Beautiful list. Caddy Woodlawn, Shiloh, King Arthur, The Borrowers, Dr. Dolittle, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Number the Stars. These were the two that were not purchased on Amazon. These were purchased at Costco. They have some of the classics there. The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland Through the Looking Glass. We have, my daughter wanted that one. Then I went ahead and got the Hardy Boys set here for them to read. We have Old Yeller. We have Stuart Little. We have The Time Machine. We have Around the World in 80 Days. We have the series, The Princess Academy. All three of them, these will most likely just be read by my daughter because my son will see Princess and not want anything to do with that. So those are the readers that I got for my kids. Like I said, they're going to be using the Good and the Beautiful Language Arts reader with one of these books, and I'm going to let them choose this year, you guys. With Sonlight, the book they were reading always correlated to the portion of history we were studying. And while that was great, we're ready for a change. So I am just gonna let my kids choose what book looks interesting to them, and they're gonna read it. In addition to their language arts, like I said, also some of these I will read to them, depending on what we're doing at that time. Now, really quick, I do want to mention two books that I am going to be including for my kids to read as well. I have a Smart Girl's Guide to Money by American Girl. My daughter this past school year did like the 5th grade American Girl health body book. So this is next year. It talks about money management, saving money, spending, saving. I just think it's a good book for her to read, so I'm gonna have her read that one. And then for my 5th grade boy, I've got the American Girl version of the one I mentioned for my daughter, but this one is Guy Stuff, the body book for boys. It doesn't get into any you know, those kind of topics. It's just hygiene and puberty and things like that. And then the biggest question that I've gotten with, well, there's been a lot of questions, but one of the biggest questions has been, what am I going to do for Bible, since the history references scripture and things like that, but it's not like a Bible study. And so what I'm going to do is just a daily devotional with my kids. We're going to take turns. The kids will take turns locating the scriptures in the Bible. We're going to discuss them. And that is how we're going to do Bible this year. My older two also have recently gotten their own daily devotionals. And so we're all going to have a family quiet time in the morning, which I'm excited about implementing that, because I just think it's a lifelong habit that is better to obtain as a child or a preteen versus just coming across it as an adult. So I got Jesus Calling, 365 devotions for kids. They're awesome. They're short, and they reference a read on your own scripture at the bottom. So I really like that. And then this is also another really cool book. It Couldn't Just Happen. This is more like science-y stuff, but knowing the truth about God's awesome creation. So it just talks about basically how these things couldn't have just come to be. And so I plan on working through that with them. I actually have had this on my shelf and just not used it, so I figured it would be a good time to bring those out. So for our Bible, we'll be doing this and doing this in conjunction with our The Good and the Beautiful History Year 1. So I hope this gives you guys some good book ideas for your kids. Like I said, we're going easy this year, easy. Just pick a book off the shelf. What do you want to read? And I think my kids are going to be really excited about that. So anyways, that's going to be it for this video, you guys. If you've got any questions for me, as always, post them down below. I always answer your questions and comment back to you guys because I truly appreciate you being here and being a part of my channel. And I will see you guys really soon. Bye.